How you doing today, Brandon?
Outstanding. No.
Good to hear.
Yeah, good afternoon. We're a little late. Hey, technology things happen. So once again, Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, here for Hardison's Tips. We're live this afternoon. We happen to have a very special guest, but the reason why we do this, for those salespeople who want to get to the next level, for those people considering to be leaders, coaches, managers, you need to remember your success is with your development of your people. And to bring you one of the best in the nation, we're proud to have the outstanding Noel Walsh. How you feeling today, Noel?
Oh, I'm always doing good.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, how about giving the guests maybe a quick 30,000 foot of what you've been doing with your experiences and everything? How did you get to be where you're at?
Yeah, so my name's Noel Walsh. I am the owner, CEO of NW&A Conquer What You Chase Sales Training, as well as Conquer You, my online sales training platform. I grew up in the business. My dad started as a salesman, went up to GM level. My stepdad was a service manager. My mom's father owned a Dodge dealership in Detroit. And my dad's dad was the head of Ford Steel. So I grew up in the industry, grew up in Michigan from my late teens on, and I always knew that car sales was my calling. I know you can make a good living. You can have fun. It's a fun atmosphere. You really get the opportunity to work with people and, help people. As a good salesperson, some of my favorite sales were like helping a single mom with like 4 kids, right? Who's working 2 minimum, wage jobs, trying to get by, working, doing everything I could to make sure she got approved, she got a decent interest rate, and her family had transportation.
Got it.
And so I always loved helping people, and I loved the process of the sale and really the relationship that comes together because people are trusting you with so much information. They're trusting you with all their money. They're going to make a 5, 6, 7, 8-year commitment to you, right, to your product and service. And so we need to consummate that. And so I always had the other salespeople would always watch what I was doing, what I'd say to my customers. And then I had customers and they're like, hey, I bought 10, 12 vehicles. I've never had an experience I enjoyed. Like I really enjoyed this experience. You should teach other people how to do it. So that's kind of where the carrots connected. And I realized that, hey, you know what? I do like to share my talents. I do like to make things better for the greater the good.
Okay.
When you teach salespeople how to sell effectively with relationship selling and really efficiently and, truthfully, you'll create a client base. And when you have a client base, anybody who's successful in sales know that, clients keep you going. And if you're just out there chasing a lead and call, internet inquiry, if you're chasing those all the time, you're going to have a low percentage of closing, low percentage of sales, smaller profits, lower commissions, more work, less repeat and referral business than if you just really cultivate and mine what's in front of you. And so that's really what I try and teach, I try and portray, and that's what I was successful at and what I teach to my clients.
And I thank you for that, because one of the reasons why I really wanted you here, compared to all of the people that do what we do around the country, I like you because you're on the showroom floor doing product presentation walkarounds. From all of our experience, but I'll just center it to me, folks don't make the relationship between asking high gain questions so you can understand their needs, wants, desires, and before the demo ride, we need to link what they told us and show us how that product, feature, advantage, benefit is going to give them what they want or alleviate. So talk to us about your walk around concept.
Yeah, so I love the walk-arounds. I do them for a lot of my clients and my dealers. But, the whole thing about a walk-around is first off, asking the proper questions, right? What is it you want? What do you wish your previous vehicle had that it didn't, right? What didn't you like about your previous vehicle? What are you looking forward? What brought you in to see this vehicle today? Find out those things and really touching base on it and making it interactive, where you're basically, you're their infomercial, right?
You got it.
You're their live presentation, telling them everything that they wanted to know about the vehicle and how that's going to benefit them, right? How those features are going to alleviate this and add this and make the wife happy, right? Suffice the husband, accommodate the kids. Isn't it funny in car sales that people are more worried about how their dog's going to react to the vehicle than their kids?
Right,
So they're like, I got to get my dog in there. I'm like, well, don't you have like 4 kids?
Well, you hit it on the head. And here's the other thing. As managers, because many times they're not seated properly to see what's going on in the lot, and if their showroom floor can't accommodate product so they can eyeball what the sales consultant's doing, many times it's out on the lot. Have you ever ran into where salespeople, they don't want to do a walk around? Let's just go do the demo. What happens when we just go to the demo and we forget about the walk around?
Well, now it all comes to price and convenience, right? And it's not the experience, because people will pay for an experience. And so when you just get the price, we just got some work bid on our house, and if I didn't get a good presentation or it didn't fit me right, they're going to lose out unless their price is better.
You got it.
Right?
You got it. No.
Convenience is better. But now if they give me an experience and they accommodate my wants, needs, desires, right? Show me the features and benefits, how this feature is going to benefit my wants, needs, desires.
Mm-hmm.
If they do that, I'm going to pay more, and it becomes less about the money than about the experience and the trust. We all know people buy from people they know, like, trust, and ultimately respect.
Outstanding.
Right? I will continue to go back to somebody I respect, even if they don't have the best price, even if I have to wait a little bit more, because I know they do a good job, they get it done right, they do this, they accommodate me.
No, you hit it on the head. And you would be amazed. I have looked at a whole lot of trainers like ourselves that are out there, and I've seen some of their YouTubes, but seems like the walk around they leave out, or they just quickly touch on. You take the time to actually go through it. And here's where I'm going with it. I know we're going to get to you to give you an opportunity to talk about Conquer You, but I have been pretty blessed that I work with dealerships and dealer groups. We do walk-arounds, and let's say you have 10 stores. We take competition where the managers are judging one salesperson at a time, come up with a store winner, and then out of the 10 store winners, we make it a dog and pony show. Band, red carpet, right? Step and repeat. And the community are the judges, so they can get branding so many people can say, wow, they're actually working with their people. So once again, I commend you for doing walk-arounds.
And you're right. And to go back where I kind of trailed off from a minute ago is, yes, so many salespeople don't give the walk around. And I can use a few lines and quotes. The profit's in the presentation. The profit is in the presentation.
You got it.
And the feel of the wheel seals the deal, right? So when you get them excited about the product, you get them comfortable and trusting of you. You show that you are capable and you can accommodate them. All it takes is for them to get behind the wheel. Like I say all the time, basically anything they're driving, this vehicle's better than most of the time, right?
Right. Correct.
Not they're buying a 10-year-old, used vehicle for their daughter and they drive a $100,000, SUV.
Right, right.
For the most time, when a customer comes in, the product they're driving is better. So when you can get them excited about that, get the emotions flowing, and then get them behind the wheel. My dad always used to say, one of the first lines I ever learned, because I started working for my dad, is the cars are the stars. Right?
You got it.
It's just like anything. Do you go and buy a pair of shoes just because this and that? No, you buy them because they fit good. You like the way they look. They're popular. They're trendy, whatever the case is.
Right.
And so I always compare cars to shoes. I'd always get the customers and they're like, oh, I don't need to test drive it. I sold a lot of Ford workers because I worked in Michigan.
Right.
So we had a lot of, I build them. I don't need to drive them. And I go, so when you go to the store, do you buy a pair of shoes without trying them on? And, that would stop them real quick. And I'd say, hey, for the very least, let's take it for a 5-minute drive.
There you go. There you go.
At the very least.
Yeah.
Right. It might have a blind spot you don't like. It might have this. It might have that.
No, you're right.
Really?
No, you're exactly right. But because I know time is sensitive for both of us here. For me, I'm on lunch break. I'm doing a training class, so I got to get back. But let me ask you this: certified pre-owned, CPO.
Yep.
I have very rarely run across trainers who teach a walk around doing the manufacturer's program, right? And going around the footprint, talking about the strength of the certified pre-owned program. Is that something you incorporate with your walk-arounds when you have an opportunity?
I do like to touch base on that because I know all the manufacturers really put a lot of effort, energy, budget, all that in their certified programs. There are a lot of programs that a lot of benefits that the customers are able to, to benefit from that. Obviously, CPOs are more expensive. But and that's what you need to touch base on is the fact that, hey, you have roadside assistance. You have a powertrain warranty. You have a 12-month, bumper-to-bumper warranty. And I or my business manager are going to go over options on how you can extend that, right, and give you this. And so what you're doing is a CPO is one of the best walk-arounds because you get to talk about your product. You get to show a 2 or 3-year-old product and how good it looks. I hated selling used cars, but I liked it. And one of my favorite go-tos was going to the floor mats. And I'd say, hey, folks, these are factory floor mats, brand new. You can tell how nice they were on the vehicle by looking at these floor mats on a vehicle with 30,000 miles on it.
You got it.
Right? Not the manufacturer's backing it because of this. They're backing it because of that. It gives you the option to give bragging rights about your product, no matter what you sell. If you sell Hondas, you can put effort, put a lot of weight on the Accord or the CRV. If you sell Ford, you can do F-150, you can do Explorer. I mean, every product you sell has benefits that when you can brag about them in a way that sounds like you're just sharing knowledge, that goes far with the customer because everybody, what do you say? My daughter's marrying a doctor, right?
Right.
Because it's bragging rights.
That's it.
Right. And we don't mean to do that. But when you can brag without bragging, then it just sinks into the customer and they're like, yeah, I want that. I want more of that. I want to be part of that.
You got it. I look at it, Noel, as the best switch vehicle going. If we do a good needs assessment, qualifying, asking high gain questions, parts of the country, they call it differently. And I know I can't get that customer into that new one. Boy, let me bring up this certified pre-owned. Mr. Customer, I got a vehicle with more of the trim, more, but it's got a few miles on it. But let me explain it to you because I like peace of mind. And every manufacturer in their own way has built in that trip interruption. If something happens, take it to the nearest manufacturer. They'll give you a loaner. They'll put you up in a hotel. They'll feed you. That, especially if I got kids. Oh, they really? And you can use it as many times as long as that vehicle stays in certification. It's not just a one-shot deal.
Right.
Boy, people explode. Well, really? Yeah, you can't get that on a new car. So I commend you because most folks don't, as trainers, get the importance of a walk around for a certified pre-owned. So, but with the time that's left, talk to us about this online Conquer You.
Yeah, so Conquer You is, I came into, I left Michigan, making a lot of money selling cars, top guy at the #3 Ford store in the nation, 3 sales managers, 2 F&I managers, 45 salespeople. So it was a cradle to the grave operation, right? So
Okay.
you were your porter, you were your boss, you were your salesman, you were everything, right? And we signed up all the deals. We did all that good stuff. But so I learned in that process. We moved here to Utah. And so I thought, okay, I was doing coaching. I was doing this. I was speaking at conferences. And I'm like, I need, I need something tangible.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I followed like the Grant Cardones and all those other people. I created the online sales training, and it was Conquer You. And I had to switch platforms about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And it really gave me the opportunity to kind of put everything in order of really how I think salespeople should train. And what's funny is most of the students I've had that have completed all 101 courses, over 1,400 training modules,
wow,
and 60 hours of training. So plus 2,400 questions.
Right.
There's a quiz after each one.
So you have an assessment built into it. Okay, good.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of redundancy, but I think that's good because really sales is redundant. What I always say is do it the same way that works, every way at the same time. And when you have to, make adjustments, right? If you've got an older couple, slow it down a little bit, right? If you've got the busybody mom who's got 4 kids and has a high powered job and she doesn't have 8 minutes for breakfast, let alone then speed it up.
Sure.
Do what works the same way. But I broke that down, and really what I teach is what to do, how to do it, why to do it, in a lot of philosophy. Because if you tell somebody, hey, say this, we've all had somebody call us and they're a call center and they're just so scripted, right?
Yes.
So have bullet points, speaking points that you're going to sell off of, but put it in your own personality.
Correct.
Right. And then adjust it accordingly to the customer. That if you get somebody who's older, maybe a little less uneducated, doesn't really get things, because I talk fast by nature. Sometimes I'd get old people and I just go, and they're just like this. And I'm like, oh no, slow it down. Right. But then sometimes if you're too slow, because I get that, because I think and move fast, and somebody will just move slow. And I'm like, they just lost me. Right. I'm like, I just can't do it. I'm like, they just lost me. Like,
right.
You're trying to, so you got to do that. I mean, sales is about the customer, right? Empathize, do what the customer wants, mirror match, mimic, somewhat to the customer in a genuine form.
Sure.
In a genuine form. And I always loved using the word value with customers, because if you mirror match, mimic, they'll start to do it back to you. And so I'd never say it's a good deal. I say it's a great value. The value savings that are going on right now, not the discounts, not the deals. It's real cheap right now. Mm-hmm. Don't use any of that verbiage.
Yeah.
Hey, right now they've got a great value going on this vehicle. Right now, the CPO, they've got 0.9% for 60 months. It's a great value because you also get a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. You get 12,000 this. You get roadside assistance. You get this. You get that. And either me or my business manager will go over options to where you can extend that warranty to a full, bumper to bumper warranty.
Excellent.
For this many years. It gives you the added protection. And, sales is about asking the right questions, providing the right information, not hiding from anything. We all say transparency. Well, almost nothing's transparent anymore. I mean, all you had to do was follow the COVID, right? They say one thing and a week later it's the exact opposite. So there's no transparency. So when you can offer people transparency, you can create value. Price doesn't become an issue. And that's my biggest complaint about the automotive industry nowadays is it's all about digital technology and the lowest price.
Ooh, yes, it is. You're right. A whole lot of folks have gone there. So how can somebody find out more about Conquer You or about NWA in general? Where do they go to?
Yeah, so a couple places. In fact, I'll share too. This is going to be shared to social media. I'll share in the comments, but they can go to my website, NW&A Sales Training.com, like it says on the bottom of the screen right here. There's a link there to my online platform. They can reach out to me all across all social media platforms. Feel free to email me at noel@NW&ASalesTraining.com. or reach out to me on my cell phone at 734-678-4502. I'll be happy. I love to help salespeople. I love to see salespeople who really want to succeed. You know, it's a fun business. It can be a very lucrative business. There's so much growth in this business. And, you know, there's all this talk about so many certain things. And, you know, the greatest thing I like is I always compare salespeople to athletes because it doesn't matter anything. Nothing matters except for the fact of what you produce.
Ooh, love it.
You know, so it doesn't matter if you're old, young, this, that, whatever the case is. If you come in and produce, you'll be a fan favorite, and you will have opportunities that continue to, you know, compound in front of you. Outstanding.
Well, no, like I told you, I'm on my lunch break. I got to get back to class. I know that you're on the other side of the great Mississippi, and I don't know what you're doing there, but thank you for giving up some of your time today, and I do appreciate it.
Hey, Brandon, we've communicated on social media, and it's great to have an actual conversation. And yeah, no, honor to be a guest on your show. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man. I always love the hustle.
Thank you. And just to wind it down, folks, Noel said a couple of things. Besides the transparency, if you want to find a good, reputable organization to work for, make sure that in the community, their branding is transparent. But the biggest thing that I liked that Noel brought up, I call it the words you use will create your success. The words you use, because your manager may tell you go back and say this, and you spend all this goodwill, the customer likes you, sees value, but you turn into a car guy. We got a deal for you. We're going to give you so much. Why did you do something crazy like that? Doesn't make sense. So thank you for the pointers with that.
Hey, Brandon, it was a pleasure to be your guest, and yeah, keep the hustle. Hopefully, you guys are selling a lot of cars over there, and go pump them up in the training in the classroom.
Will do. No, be safe, stay healthy. Thanks for being here.
Conquer what you chase.
There you go. Love it. Okay, folks, that'll do it for this edition of Hardison's Tips Live. We will do it again next Wednesday, but catch me tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock where we'll continue on. So with that said, go out and make it a champion day.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.